Hello everyone, welcome to Kansas Future, Chiefs Kingdom. The countdown is on with critical injuries, a fierce Browns defense, and high stakes in the AFC. This Sunday's matchup could define the season. Will Patrick Mahomes and the squad rise to the challenge, or will Cleveland's chaos derail the Chiefs' playoff dreams? Stick around. This is the breakdown you don't want to miss. Let's go, Chiefs. The Chiefs are gearing up for one of the most pivotal matchups of the season against the Cleveland Browns, and the stakes couldn't be higher. With the AFC standings tighter than ever, every single game counts, and this Sunday's showdown is no exception. We've got some injury updates to discuss, both promising and concerning, that could significantly impact the Chiefs' performance. But before diving into the details, let me know in the comments. Do you think the Chiefs will beat the Browns this weekend? If you're feeling confident, smash that like button and type, "Go Chiefs, let's win the Super Bowl." Injury updates, DJ Humphries. First up, offensive tackle DJ Humphries. Unfortunately, Humphries hasn't practiced this week due to a hamstring injury he suffered during the game against the Chargers. It's a tough loss for Kansas City, especially considering Humphries only joined the team 2 weeks ago and has played in just half a game. His absence raises serious questions about the depth of the offensive line, particularly as we approach high-stakes playoff battles. Harrison Butker. Now for some hopeful news about kicker Harrison Butker. Chiefs fans have been eagerly awaiting his return, and there's a glimmer of optimism. Butker has been designated for return from injured reserve after successful knee surgery. While he was a limited participant in practice this week, his status for Sunday remains uncertain. The Chiefs have leaned on Matthew Wright in Butker's absence, and Wright has performed admirably, converting 11 of 12 field goals and remaining perfect on extra points. Still, having Butker back would bring a sense of stability as the postseason looms. Jawaan Taylor switching back to the offensive line. Jawaan Taylor has been dealing with a lingering issue, but showed promising progress, moving from limited participation to practicing fully. His resilience and ability to play through discomfort will be vital for protecting Patrick Mahomes from the Browns' relentless pass rush, led by the formidable Myles Garrett. Garrett is having a monster season, racking up 11 sacks, 15 tackles for loss, and 22 quarterback hits. Containing him will be a monumental task, especially with Humphries potentially sidelined, Charles Omenihu, and Trey Smith. On the defensive side, there's even more good news. Defensive end Charles Omenihu and offensive lineman Trey Smith were both full participants in practice, and Smith has been removed from the injury report entirely. Omenihu's availability is critical for maintaining pressure on the opposing offense. Meanwhile, cornerback Joshua Williams, who exited last week's game early with a chest injury, has been practicing fully and is expected to play. His return comes at the perfect time, bolstering a secondary that has faced its share of challenges this season. Final thoughts. As for Butker, the decision to activate him will likely come down to the wire on game day. While Spencer Schneider and Matthew Wright have stepped up admirably, Butker's return would instill confidence heading into high-pressure games. Until the final decision is made, fans will anxiously wait to see if their veteran kicker takes the field this Sunday. Let's go, Chiefs. Bring on the Browns. Looking at the bigger picture, Chiefs vs. Browns. The Chiefs face a Browns team hungry for a win and boasting a strong offensive line. The health of players like Charles Omenihu and Joshua Williams will be critical to slowing down Cleveland's offense. Meanwhile, the Chiefs' offensive line must step up to protect Mahomes, especially if Humphries is out. It's no secret that Mahomes has been under constant pressure this season. He's been sacked a career-high 35 times. Keeping him upright against Cleveland's aggressive defense will be key. New addition, Steven Nelson. The Chiefs made an intriguing move this week, signing veteran cornerback Steven Nelson to bolster their defensive depth. Chiefs fans will remember Nelson from his earlier stint with Kansas City. After stepping away from football in June, he's now back in red and gold. While his return has generated excitement, defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo has urged fans to manage their expectations. Nelson has been out of football for over 6 months, so the team is taking a cautious approach to reintegrate him. Based on past experience, it could be week 16 or later before we see Nelson in action. His veteran presence could be invaluable as the team gears up for a deep playoff run. The Browns' defense, speaking of the Browns, their defense is led by the aggressive and unpredictable Jim Schwartz. Coach Andy Reid had high praise for Schwartz's defensive schemes, noting his creative blitz packages and ability to mix up coverages. The Browns thrive on creating chaos, and their defense will be a formidable challenge for the Chiefs. While Myles Garrett is undoubtedly the centerpiece, the entire Browns defensive unit has been effective at forcing turnovers, with 6 takeaways in their last 4 games. For the Chiefs, this means playing sharp, disciplined football to avoid costly mistakes. Despite the Browns' defensive prowess, there are opportunities for the Chiefs to exploit. Cleveland's defense ranks 26th in the league, allowing an average of 25.8 points per game. If Mahomes and the offense can stay sharp and avoid turnovers, they could put up some big numbers. However, any lapse in focus could swing momentum in Cleveland's favor, turning this into a much tighter contest than expected. Bigger stakes, AFC's top seed. This game is about more than just one win. It's another crucial step in the Chiefs' journey to secure the AFC's top seed and set themselves up for another Super Bowl run. With the standings so tight, every performance matters, and every player has a role to play. As they push for their 7th title, the big question looms: is there a team out there that can take them down? The AFC is stacked with talent. The Bills, the Bengals, and even up-and-coming teams like the Dolphins are all hungry for their shot at the throne. But can any of them truly go toe-to-toe with this Chiefs team? Sure, these teams have shown flashes of brilliance, but sustaining that level of play against a team as complete and battle-tested as Kansas City is a monumental challenge. The mental edge, let's talk about the mental edge. The Chiefs don't just beat you physically, they beat you mentally. They get inside your head, forcing you to second-guess your every move. You can't afford to make a single mistake against them because they'll capitalize on it every time. That kind of pressure wears on a team. It makes them tighten up, play cautiously, and ultimately falter when it counts most. Share your thoughts. So, Chiefs fans, how are you feeling about this matchup? Are you concerned about the offensive line's depth without Humphries? Do you think Butker's return will provide the boost the team needs? How do you see the offense faring against Cleveland's aggressive defense? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Chiefs Kingdom, the stage is set for a showdown with the Cleveland Browns, but there's a twist. Some key injuries could turn this game upside down. Can the Chiefs weather the storm, or will these setbacks put them on the back foot? Stick around, because I've got the latest updates, insights, and what it all means for Sunday's game. Let's dive in. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily updates, in-depth analysis, and everything you need to stay up to date with Chiefs football. Now, let's jump straight into Thursday's injury report, courtesy of Matt Mowen on X. Here's the rundown. Left tackle DJ Humphries hasn't practiced all week due to a hamstring injury. Kicker Harrison Butker and right tackle Jawaan Taylor have been limited with knee issues. Charles Omenihu and Joshua Williams have been full participants despite dealing with knee and chest injuries respectively. Starting with the good news, I'm confident Omenihu, Taylor, and Williams will be ready to go on Sunday. Their availability is a relief, especially in a critical game like this. But now, let's talk about the concerns, specifically DJ Humphries and Harrison Butker. Harrison Butker, who just came off injured reserve after surgery on his left knee, is unlikely to suit up this week. It's his first week back and the Chiefs won't rush him. We need him at 100%, especially with the playoffs around the corner. Let's be honest, he never really had a shot at playing this Sunday, and that's fine. DJ Humphries' situation is a bit more worrisome. He sustained a hamstring injury last week against the Chargers, and it's been a rough week for him. No practices on Wednesday or Thursday make it highly unlikely he'll play, especially given Andy Reid's policy: if you don't practice, you don't play. Although Humphries was seen on the field Thursday in full gear, he didn't have his helmet on, signaling he's not quite ready. The Chiefs are being cautious, and for good reason. Earlier this season, Humphries was rushed back after recovering from an ACL injury. With no off-season training or preseason reps, he was thrown into the fire against the Chargers' fierce pass rush featuring Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Rushing him again would be a mistake, especially against the Browns' Myles Garrett, arguably one of the best pass rushers of the past decade. This means Wanya Morris will likely step in at left tackle. Let's not sugarcoat it, this matchup could get ugly. Garrett is a nightmare for any offensive lineman, let alone a less experienced one like Morris. That said, Morris has a golden opportunity to prove himself. If he's healthy and plays to his potential, he could mitigate some of the damage. If not, it's going to be a long day for Patrick Mahomes and the entire offensive line. Hollywood Brown update, switching gears slightly. There's good news about Hollywood Brown. He's been cleared to return to practice and should be back on the field Friday. While he's unlikely to play Sunday, his return in the coming weeks is a huge boost for the Chiefs' offense. His explosiveness and ability to stretch the field will be pivotal as we approach the postseason. Injury report, implications. Looking at the bigger picture, the Chiefs face a brutal stretch ahead, 3 games in just 10 days. Getting players like Humphries and Butker back to full strength is essential. Humphries in particular needs more reps to acclimate to blocking for Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is a unique quarterback who moves unpredictably in the pocket, which can be challenging for any lineman, let alone someone coming off multiple injuries. It seems more realistic for Humphries to return next week or during the Christmas game against the Steelers. This timeline gives him enough time to recover and adjust while minimizing the risk of re-injury. As for Sunday, the offensive line will have to rally together to protect Mahomes, even if it means leaning heavily on quick passes and the run game. Butker's recovery has been impressive. Coming back from IR so quickly is no small feat. However, the Chiefs don't need to gamble on his health just yet. With the playoffs on the horizon, it's far more important to have a fully recovered Butker than to rush him into a regular season game. Before we continue, a quick shout out to our sponsor, the Rice Real Estate Group. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, the Rice Real Estate Group is Kansas City's premier choice for all your real estate needs. Their team specializes in providing tailored, one-on-one service to help you achieve your goals. For more information, give them a call at 800-681-993. A huge thanks to the Rice Real Estate Group for their continued support throughout the football season. Now, let's wrap this up with a bit of perspective. While injuries are never ideal, the Chiefs are handling this the right way. Rushing players back too soon could jeopardize their health and the team's long-term success. Yes, it's a tall task to block someone like Myles Garrett without Humphries, but an injured Humphries isn't much better. The coaching staff is making the smart, albeit tough, decisions. If you're worried about this game, it's understandable. But keep in mind, the Chiefs have consistently found ways to adapt, whether it's through creative play calling, Mahomes' brilliance, or the defense stepping up. This team knows how to win under adversity. Dan Orlovsky brought up an interesting point, saying, "We saw both why the Chiefs can win it all and why they might not, all in the same game. If Kansas City falters in the playoffs, we'll be talking about the same issues. Poor protection for Mahomes, an inability to beat man coverage, red zone inefficiency, or a defense that gets gashed. But if they win, and let's be honest, most of us expect they will, it'll be because Mahomes and Kelce are unstoppable when the stakes are highest." Now let's shift gears and talk about what's ahead. Kansas City sits atop the AFC at 12-1, but there's a glaring issue: protecting Mahomes. This season, he's faced more pressure than ever before, and it's affecting his game. The Chiefs are well aware of this. They tried to address the issue by signing tackle DJ Humphries, but he injured his hamstring in his debut against the Chargers. So now, the focus shifts to finding a long-term solution. Enter Trent Brown, a former Pro Bowler currently with the Bengals. Brown suffered a significant patella tendon injury this season, but his size and experience make him an intriguing option. Standing at 6'8" and weighing over 350 pounds, Brown could be the wall Mahomes needs on his blind side. That's all for today's update. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for daily Chiefs content. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news and insights.